It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Kuralt.
When South Central Los Angeles burst into flames earlier this year, even those who saw the smoke only from a distance on television must have felt their eyes smart. The pictures showed so much rage and so little hope. Is there no other reality in the inner cities of this country? Jacqueline Adams has found that there is. It seems that common decency, too, can be kindled and made to burn bright.
Shine all over this neighborhood. I'm gonna let it shine. Shine all over this neighborhood. I'm gonna let it shine.
They call it the Sandtown Miracle.
I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
6 years after the Reverend Mark Gornick and Alan and Susan Tibbles moved into this rundown section of Baltimore, homes and lives are being rehabilitated. Indeed, a whole community.
Well, this is an exciting morning, isn't it? Can you say amen? Amen. Amen. It is great, once again, to kick off another house. The Lord is doing something very special in our community, and we are rejoicing.
We don't see it as missionary work. We see relocating to us means that we move in and become neighbors. And our move to Sandtown came out of our biblical conviction and calling that we wanted to, not just exist for our own personal peace and affluence, but to live our lives on behalf of folks in need.
Well, I would invite Lando and Mark.
The Tibbles and Gornick had been friends for years. They dreamed of putting their faith into action and did not give up that dream after Alan broke his neck playing basketball, after he became a quadriplegic.
I think it sort of helps break down barriers. A lot of I think it's easier for me to sort of have an entree into a group of hurting folks because they can relate a little bit. Here's a guy in a wheelchair.
And of course you were skeptical. It made you wonder, why are these people here?
A lifelong resident of Sandtown, Laverne Cooper hadn't ever seen white people move in.
Alan and Mark, I think what's so great about them, they not only came to Sandtown to help rebuild, but they came here to live. They just weren't coming in trying to get work done. They actually stayed here to see how it is to live in the area.
This was the other Baltimore. This was a Baltimore that, even though I grew up 20 minutes away, never knew existed. This was a Baltimore of an infant mortality rate higher than 2/3 world countries. This was a Baltimore with no affordable health care. This neighborhood had a lot of needs which we feel as Christians we should be involved in addressing.
One or both? They're doing each
Gornick and the Tibble family came from Baltimore's suburbs to found New Song, a community-based Presbyterian church. For the first 2 years, they tried merely to win their neighbors' trust and understand, as insiders, the other Baltimore.
The police thought I was a drug dealer, and the drug dealers thought I was a police officer. And so walking around the neighborhood, actually, I didn't know, there was a wow there, and I didn't know who was going to shoot me first.
More than 600 homes in Sandtown stand vacant and deteriorating.
We have to raise it too anyway. I think these others.
Impressed by former President Jimmy Carter's efforts to rebuild inner-city homes, the New Song Church joined with Habitat for Humanity in 1988. They drew volunteers and funding from other churches, colleges, corporations, and individuals. And so far, they've reclaimed 8 homes. Next year, they hope the number will climb to 20.
This is former President Jimmy Carter and Mrs. Carter, myself, and my 3 daughters. We had built the deck on the back porch.
Homeowner Sonia Moore.
Because I didn't know that they was going to help me build a deck until the day that they came. And I was grateful about it. I'm still rejoicing about it.
She has also found a spiritual home at the New Song Community Church.
It's like, that building is like a home away from home. If you had troubles, you down, you discouraged anything, You go inside the building, you forget about your problems. I love the building.
Sonia Moore has found hope at New Song and a job as a teacher's assistant.
And I told him, yeah, I was looking for a job. I'd rather reply on a paycheck than a social service check. They helped me out a lot. They opened my eyes further than what I thought my eyes could open. I pledge to show respect to myself, my family, my neighborhood.
Houses alone don't make a neighborhood, so the church set up a learning center.
More is more than one.
Alan's wife, Susan, is the director.
My success can only be measured maybe 12, 13 years from now if the children that I'm working with actually graduate from high school and go on to college and graduate and have careers, professions that they can pursue. If that happens, then it's been really successful, and the community will be transformed because of that.
With no doctor in the area and so many uninsured residents, the church also provides a free health clinic.
Ashley and Sherelle, come on back.
I look at people who are going home without food and children who come and sometimes are hungry and you know that they're not going to get dinner that night. That's a real need. And so I certainly have learned to put life in perspective as to what's really important.
Thanks for coming. We're from McLean looking for work to do.
There's now a very wide perception of what's possible. So I think hope has been greatly increased as a result. But I'm also not naive to think that now everyone thinks that everything is just going to be, everyone will live happily ever after because we're present here.
Still, on this Sunday, Sandtown is celebrating the completion of yet another home. For most, this would be a small miracle. For Darlene McCarter and her family, it is the miracle of Sandtown.
This is my house.